For those people that just a little bit of fun, for those people who saw when I got trolled by M. Seeker, and then he dragged my son and Matthew Hardingham. Well, it turns out he's a paedophile, so he's just protecting his own.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, Charlie boy. I think you are looking to get sued, sunshine. So, Charlie Ward has just made 2 videos where in the videos he calls me a paedophile. Are you a dumbass? I mean, you should check your sources. Did you not even think to look at where this intel came from? Did you not even think to look into it? Of course you didn't. You were so pleased to get out this defamatory and criminal, this defamatory information, which is criminal, by the way. I should sue you, and I may do. But we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about where you got this supposed information from later. It's laughable. Anything that Charlie can do to try and discredit me, and this is, this is a massive accusation to make. I mean, even when I showed clips of yourself saying very questionable things, I never called you the P word, right? I just showed clips of you talking about what you used to do on Top of the Pops, and what a child trafficking victim said when she said that she remembered you. I just showed clips of your videos. I never was stupid enough to say that you were the P word. But before we look at his claims on this, and we go through the videos and we look at where he's got this information from, let's look at earlier this year when he claimed many other lies about me, that I was a disgraced police officer, that he'd got lawyers were coming to my door, and then he started trying to encourage people to turn up at my doorstep, or saying that him and his friends would turn up at my doorstep to threaten me.
Oh yeah, I'm totally aware of the onslaught that's against us all. I've just learned from previous experiences not to respond, because that's all they want is a response. I know the truth, and what they're trying to do is trying to provoke a reaction. This particular guy came on my show about a year ago when I started. Turns out he's an ex-police officer. He was removed from the police force for falsifying documents. He's just a little worm, but he's desperate for a response, so I'm not even going to bother to respond. I'm telling you all, I'm absolutely fine. I'm really happy. Things are really good, and we're coming into an exciting week. Stay positive and don't let these horrible little trolls destroy our lives. The best thing is to rise above them and just not respond to them. Not give them any response whatsoever, and then they'll just die. Because they thrive on people responding.
So first of all, you make up a fabricated story to try and discredit me, saying that I was a disgraced police officer, and you ask your followers to pay me no attention and to not look at the content, and to not comment on it, not talk about it. It's damage control, trying to discredit me, and there's nothing to it. So where was the proof of this, Charlie? Of course, it wasn't true, and then you would go on to change your story. So next, with the latest video I brought out, you had a different story.
A load of messages this morning saying, "Do you know that this M. Truth Seeker has been attacking you?" I said,
"Yeah."
But to me, it just shows that we're over the target, because the woman that I interviewed that claimed that she was trafficked.
When I very first saw you, Charlie, I swore I knew you, and then I heard you talk, and I swear to you, I've met you before on a private plane, going to one. I wish I had a map right here with me.
Hold on. Did Sabrina just say she recognises and remembers Charlie Ward from the private jet from when she was trafficked as a child?
There's an island that's down. Did you go to many islands?
I went to islands, but they were in the Far East rather than the Caribbean side.
I went to them all over the world.
The Philippines, Thailand, off those coasts.
Is there one right off of Japan? Not like Okinawa, but like if you went further out just a little bit.
There's quite a few islands there, but I've never been to those ones.
You've never been to those, Kate? Because that's where I keep thinking. But anyway, like I could be wrong, but I swear. But anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she was trafficked or not, but but she reckons that she saw me on a plane 25 years ago.
Okay.
Can you tell me something? That was me 25 years ago. Would you recognize me?
No, absolutely not. Nope.
Exactly. I just got my lawyers onto it this morning. I said, fine, this is who it is. This is where he lives. He doesn't even know that we know where he lives. He'll shit himself when he finds out that we know where he lives. But I've got some of the top lawyers in the UK that will pay him a little visit soon.
And so now you're saying that lawyers are going to be knocking at my door. However, you soon thought about this afterwards. You know, you've told the world, oh, lawyers are going to be knocking on his door. We know where he lives, etc. And you thought about it afterwards, of course, and thought, well, hang on a minute, this is not true, and it's not going to stop him. There's no legal recourse because literally I'm just showing the things that you're saying. So what do you do next? That you say that we're deep state and that you can't touch us legally. So instead you're going to try and incite people to come to our doorstep.
We now know who the trolls really are, and they're all funded by the Secret Service. So they're not just, so then that gave us another problem with our legal team. Because if you go to the police and report them, they're in the same swamp.
That's right.
So you can't go to the police. And my lawyer said even the judges are corrupt too. We know that with the Supreme Court in America. So there was a suggestion that myself, Dave Mahoney and Lee Dawson go knock on their door and just introduce ourselves and see what they have to say and read them the riot act about behaviour. But at the end of the day, they're just pawns. That's all they are. They're paid prostitutes by the deep state. And we could very easily go out publicly and name them publicly and put their addresses out publicly. But we're just discussing with legal teams at the moment the right way to handle them, to make them realise you can't go out and lie about people and create a load of stories and twist what people say. Claire, who I work very closely with as well, who you both know, her and I did some research and we found out in no time at all that the four main trolls that are trolling us are all paid for by MI5 and MI6 in the UK. So the minute you know that these are just little guinea pigs. These are out of work little bastards who are trying to create a name for themselves, but being funded for by the deep state and the cabal. But what it does mean is we now have a decision to make, because there's no point us going to the police because they're all in the same bed. And if it goes to court, the judges are in the same bed.
Absolutely.
So our options are basically to name them, their real names rather than their fake names, and maybe publish their addresses. Or for myself, Dawson and Mahoney, to rock up at their house and just have a face-to-face with them and see what they've got to say for themselves face-to-face.
You couldn't paint more of a picture of, like, a mob boss with henchmen behind him if you tried.
And teach them the rules of life, that you don't put out lies and bullshit about people, even if somebody is paying you to do it, because we know who their paymaster is. We now have the evidence. We've actually got the paper trail.
You've now fabricated that we're all deep state and being paid by the MI6. And it's brilliant. You say that you've got a paper trail. So I can't wait for you to show us that evidence fabricated. You are, a gold medal winning, champion, trophy holding, record scoring Muppet, mate.
Because we've got some clever people behind the scenes. So we have the paper trail of who's involved, and we got the paper trail of the finances that they've been paid for doing this. So we've got everything we need. It's a question now of how we go about it. It's like holding 2 or 3 aces in your hand and thinking, how do I play this? And that's where we're at right now. But it's really, really exciting.
Yeah, no, and I think I'm really glad you addressed it like that, Charlie. We all love you. And what how you deal with everything is just with dignity.
For myself, Dawson and Mahoney, to rock up at their house and just have a face-to-face with them and see what they've got to say for themselves face-to-face, and teach them the rules of life.
Amazing way you're dealing with it, Charlie.
So all that fabricated nonsense was 7 months ago, Charlie. So where is all the evidence of that? Where is this paper trail that apparently shows that I'm being paid by MI6? I'm not. It never materialised because it wasn't true, because it was fabricated for you to try and discredit me. So what's Charlie saying about me now? I mean, what he's saying about me now is, what he was saying before was bad and the threats and stuff, but now it's criminal. Let's have a look at what he's calling me and what he's saying about me now.
For those people that just a little bit of fun, for those people who saw when I got trolled by Seeker, and then he dragged my son and Matthew Harding in. There was none more worse for me than when my son suddenly turned against me and started doing 3 videos. Not nice at all.
Yeah, well, you see, they took advantage of your son. Your son has problems. These people that have done this to me too, but that was the worst to me. I was never so angry in my life than when I saw them do that to you.
Okay, let's get this straight. I never turned your son against you, and I never dragged your son or Matthew Harding into anything. So let's start with your son, Glenn. He did an interview with Darren, and Darren reached out to me and said, "Oh, do you want to be part of this interview?" And I said, "No, actually, I don't. I don't want to be interviewing his family. They're going to make accusations that I'm targeting his family, etc." So they went ahead and did an interview anyway. I showed it on my channel. It was only after that, and the cat was out the bag, and he'd said about his life and what he thought, and that he was trying to help people by trying to show them the real Charlie Ward. It was only after then when he had said that he would like to do an interview with me, and we even cleared that up on the interview with your son Glenn. I even asked him, and he said, no, we never spoke before, and I wanted to do an interview with you. So what was I to do? The cat's already out the bag. I just gave him a platform to talk about his father. And when it comes to Matthew Harding, he was your friend for a very long time. You guys fell out. Why did you fall out? Because he was telling you to stop spreading bullcrap, right? So he had already expressed that, and he was in my inbox months and months and months before this had happened. I mean, he wasn't saying that he would do an interview with me, but he was telling me, how you guys fell out and what he thinks. And he was more than happy as well to come on and share that with people. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I didn't turn anyone against you. They both were already trying to speak out and were already trying to save people from the lies that you were spreading.
Well, it turns out he's a paedophile, so he's just protecting his own. And there's a group of them out there trying to expose him. So karma's a wonderful thing.
There's not a group out there trying to expose me. There's nothing to expose. I'll tell you what there is. There's a group out there that follow this fake king, another fake king, not the same one I've been talking about all this time, but one I made a video on recently, and I'll share more about how you've come to this conclusion that I am the P word, right? There's no group trying to expose me. There's a group trying to smear me, a group trying to defame me, a group committing offences, criminal offences, and I will follow that up. And in fact, I'll follow up what you're doing here. It's criminal, and you need to detract these statements before I sue you. There is no evidence out there of supposed crimes that I've committed. There's some fake documents from some fake courts. These are clearly fake. You didn't even bother to look into it, Charlie, did you? No, because anyone that gives you intel, you just take it and run with it and put it on your show for clicks and likes and views. It's awful. And this time you've done it because this is criminal. You can't go about saying stuff like that with absolutely no evidence. There wouldn't be any evidence because it's not true. And if you bother to look into it, you'd go, I'm not going to touch that. But no. You were so pleased to hear this, you didn't even bother to look into it. Like, you don't even bother to look into any intel that you get. People send you stuff, and you just put it on your channel and say that it's intel from secret sources.
I had him on my show to try and out him over a year ago, 18 months ago, when he started trolling me. And then he had another go, and I just decided it wasn't worth the time. It wasn't worth the effort. I knew what he was. He was dirty. He was just a troll. He was paid. He was paid opposition, and I don't waste my time on that. I don't waste my time. I spend my time on doing good, ethical research.
Good ethical research. Oh, is that right? Is that right? Where's your good ethical research in any of this? In fact, when do you display any research in any of your videos? But where is the good ethical research around any of this? Around what you said 7 months ago, around what you're saying now? There's nothing. And I challenged you to provide any research around it. And what you said certainly wasn't ethical. And what you're saying now certainly isn't ethical. And you certainly don't have any research on it. And you said, I had him on my show 18 months ago to expose him. No, you didn't. I cleared up. People were saying that you were linked to the Clinton Foundation. I did my bit, and respectfully, no matter even if you were promoting this fake king that I was trying to expose, I said, I've looked into this. It's not true. I threw you a bone because it wasn't true, and people were spreading that around. I told you about that, and you thanked me, and you said, why don't you tell all of your followers about my new website where you can pay €11 a month? And I said, you know what? Come on my show, and you can tell them yourself. That's how that happened, and I can show that's how that happened. And then you came on and you told me what a good job and how the world needs more people like me, right? And what did I do? I subtly exposed you by asking you questions, showing clips of yourself, and letting you talk. And then a few months later, I made 30 Reasons, and I based that around some of the stuff that people might have missed that subtly that you exposed in the in the interview that I did with you. That's how that happened.
We found out the end of last week as well that the person who tried to take me down, who got a hold of my son, is wanted on paedophile charges in America.
Of course they are.
So in a way, it sort of, you go, there you go, but it doesn't do anything for me, because at the end of the day, I was bullied at school and it hurt. When you get these people who just talk shite, that doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. It just means that you're right over the target.
Right over the target, my ass. Right, okay, so how did Charlie get this information? Well, he was messaged this information by who? By a group trying to expose me. No, they are just trying to smear me. And let me explain. To explain this, I need to go back 1 month, where I made a video where I went undercover to expose a grifter who was calling himself the son of JFK. He called himself Patrick Kennedy, and also that he's the rightful king of England. Now, I knew this wasn't true. I'd exposed him before a year ago. Let me just show you, to illustrate this, 5 minutes of that story.
So, about a year ago, me and Justice did a video on a guy who was claiming he was the Kingsman. The Kingsman being the bodyguard to the rightful king of England. At that time, there was a guy called Greg Hallett going around saying he's the king and he's got documents to prove that he has the blood right to the throne of England. We did a video on this guy and we looked into his backstory, which was hilarious. So guys, if you haven't seen Just Truth on the Kingsman, go check it out. Anyway, we found out this guy, his name is Gareth Barrett, and it's quite hilarious, his whole background. I won't go into that. But what's he doing a year later? Now, after Greg Hallett has disappeared and his whole narrative has been destroyed, now Gareth is calling himself king. Not only that, he's renamed himself Patrick Kennedy. He claims he's the son of John F. Kennedy. I attempted to get an interview with Patrick Kennedy, or King Arthur Pendragon, as he calls himself. So I managed to get this interview by using a fake channel, Patriot One TV, and also donning a disguise. You didn't die.
No.
In 1963, when you were born, but you were smuggled to England, and your father died 2 months after you were born in 1963, and then in 1981, you were born again somehow. I don't understand that, because if you're Patrick Kennedy, you would have been born in 1963, which would make you 57 or 58 right now, but you've claimed you're 40 years old.
Yes, I am 40 years old.
Can you explain this to me?
Yes, I am Patrick Kennedy.
What about the difference in years? I mean, you'd be 58.
Yeah.
Are you 58?
Not yet.
How old are you?
I am 40.
How does this story work?
It works very well because John F. Kennedy is not dead.
But it's so hot in here. It's so hot. Do you mind if I take my wig off?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too hot with the wig. I'm sure you know that, right? You wear wigs too?
No.
You don't? Oh, that's crazy, man. Can you explain this?
No, don't know that one.
You don't know that one. This is Gareth Barrett.
I don't know who he is even.
You've never met Gareth Barrett?
No,
He was the Kingsman.
don't know him.
His name is Gareth Barrett.
Okay.
And yeah, it's interesting. You've never seen him before. That's interesting. I mean, you know, this guy said that he was the Kingsman, which you also said you were the Kingsman. And gosh, you awfully look alike.
That's not me. I'm telling you.
Wow. Clone again? Do you reckon?
This is King Arthur Pendragon. I'm just bringing a message to you all and to making you aware of many things, including I will tell you a little bit about myself. Myself, I had to use a cover name for when I was undercover. And that was Gareth Barrett. But I am not Gareth Barrett. I am Patrick Kennedy. I am not having no corrupted fake organisations like these media online organisations thinking they could bring me down by little research, listening to somebody's word of mouth about somebody who they don't even know. Somebody thought they can get to know me when I was with Gregory Hallett, but they didn't know me. They don't know nothing about me. So they could post these fake little lies out about me. But I will tell you this, and I will tell you this now. If they do it, they will be committing treason against the king. And also, high treason carries the gallows. So maybe they should think about that first, before they post this letter out, or post this even video out, on what they want to do with me. Because Donald Trump has always said to me that people will try and bring me down when I come out. And it's true. The people don't believe who I am. That's true. But they are going to believe who I am, because I'm going to show them who I am. I am the king who they've always wanted back. And I am King Arthur Pendragon.
Okay, so that expose was absolutely hilarious. And if you want to see the full one, you can go on my channel and check it out. But yeah, so after his threats to send me to the gallows for high treason and have me hung if I put out that video, obviously I still put out the video. And so a day later, he then put out a fake court document from a fake court. So let's have a little look at that. Okay, so here's his fake court document that's trying to threaten me. A public order of revocation, nullifying all content that M-Seeker of Truth has against me. In the name Patrick Kennedy, or any other name must be destroyed immediately. Any other name, huh? An arrest warrant will be issued by peacekeepers if you choose to ignore this order. This order is issued to M-Seeker of Truth, so not my real name, M-Seeker of Truth, of course. Let it be known that as of today, the 23rd day of September 2021, you are obligated under law to destroy all content in regards to Patrick Kennedy and in any other name. Of course, like Gareth Barrett. Let it be known that if you disregard this order of revocation in capitals and do not immediately stand down from your office as an agent of the criminal body, what criminal body? What? You will be considered and declared to be colluding with this body and person in their proven crimes and treason against the people, and you will be subject to arrest and imprisonment. Ooh. This order is being issued by the International Common Law Court of Justice and its authority under natural law. Court of Justice and its authority under natural law, and according to the will of the people as the sovereign head and source of all government. Today, September the 23rd, 2021, and it's got his signature, and it's got the logo down there, which he's really good at copy and pasting. The International Common Law Court of Justice, which doesn't exist. Well, it does. Kevin Arnett apparently has been ripped from there, from his apparent court. But you know, I will be contacting him and saying about legal action I'll possibly be taking for him to put out a statement that this has not come from him, and which I'm sure he will. But let's go to the top again. Nullifying all content that M-Seeker of Truth has against me in the name of Patrick Kennedy. So this has come from you, not from a court. It was so obvious. It's so silly. Obviously, I just laughed at it. So this is the first of these documents, and obviously I laughed at it. I posted it and paid no attention. So after I obviously didn't fall for that and didn't pay attention to A, his threats to have me hanged, and B, his threats to have legal action taken against me from some fake courts, he doubled down. And a few days later, he sent out a very sick fake court document. This one is awful. Let me show you that. But this was spread around by a lot of gullible people. And of course, we reported it. And they all got taken down. And afterwards, I heard nothing for weeks. So let's have a look at that document now. This one is properly messed up. So again, he's got the logo from the International Common Law Court of Justice. Right, and so he starts off, M Seeker of Truth. Not my real name. So, M Seeker of Truth, you have been charged 12th of May, 2020. That was like last year. I don't know where he's got that date from. But for paedophilia and human trafficking in connection with known crimes against children, where all evidence against you has been presented to this common law court of justice. Bullshit. Anyway, carrying on. You must be held accountable for your crimes against children and your crimes in connection with human child trafficking. You are charged with the following 7 counts as follows. Right. First of all, if, in a real court document, any children's names would be redacted or omitted. They would not be in here. But let's have a look at these 7 names, which it just suddenly puts forward. And not to mention that they don't even know my real name or anything. So how have I been charged? How have I been tried and charged with the following? So first of all, you got Sarah Jeffries, age 14, from China. Sarah Jeffries, totally, yeah, that's totally a Chinese name. I mean, you could have made these names believable. Amy Fogg, age 13 years, from North America. Oh, so what? First of all, it was China. Now it's North America. It's not even the USA or, a country. Now it's going into continents. So it's a country, a continent. Then you've got Jessica Wilson, age 15 years old, from Jamaica. Yeah, Jessica Wilson, man. Yeah, I mean, that's a terrible Jamaican accent, but that is totally not believable. Number 4, Gemma Williamson, age 12 years old, from England. Zoe Wiseman, age 11 years old, from Africa. Totally an African name. That's very believable. A child would be called Zoe Wiseman. And not even from, any country in Africa. No, Africa in general as a continent. I mean, this is just laughable. Number 6, Hannah Matthews, age 12 from years old, from England. And number 7, Charlotte Smith, age 10 years old, from Scotland. All of these names are absolute, I'm sure you can see, bullcrap. I mean, this is just awful. I mean, this is sick to put this out. And yeah, like I say, they wouldn't have included any minors' names in any court documents. It's just absolute bullshit. And these names don't even make sense. He didn't even go through the trouble of trying to make believable names. Your arrest is hereby issued to the persons named herein, having been duly tried, convicted and sentenced for deliberate criminal acts by this court and properly notified. You haven't properly notified me. I found this document that you were spreading around on your socials, right? I haven't been duly tried, convicted and sentenced. I didn't even know about this. I had to find it from your socials. It's just laughable. And people that believe this and are spreading this around, shame on you. Where is your discernment? Shame on you. This could be anyone. This could be someone that you love. This could be your family. People spreading around this, where, you claim to be awake. Are you? Are you really? Are you really awake? Look at this. Look at this crap. It's just, it astounds me that, when I saw this, I laughed, but then people were spreading it around, so we reported it. But it astounds me that later on, that people were spreading this around. Like, come on, guys, where is your head at? So, yeah, anyway, autograph, 12th of May, 2020. How come I'm just hearing about this from your socials or your friends' socials now? It's ridiculous. And again, the fake court. There you go. Okay, so after people tried first spreading this and we notified them that, they were liable for legal action and that it was all rubbish, people all took it down. And I heard nothing about it for weeks and weeks and weeks until less than a week ago I put out a post because I'd seen a load of Twitter accounts. There was JFK Jr., Ghost Ezra, even President Trump had new Twitter accounts, and of course they were all Gareth Barrett and his team, and they happened to be saying, "Oh yes, this new King of England." JFK Jr. was saying, "Oh, my brother Patrick Kennedy." It was all obviously coming from their camp, and they were gaining quite a following of gullible followers. So, me being me, it was only right that I kind of highlighted this and just said and posted it on my socials. Guys, look at these accounts. They're clearly Gareth. And, these need to be stopped because gullible people are believing them. And, that's what I stand for. So I put out a post around, guys, look into these, comment on them, report them. These are not real accounts. I don't ever ask people to report people's channels or anything, but this is bad. So after I made that, it caused quite a storm. Gareth decided to double down with these sick remarks and this defamation and this smear campaign, and have a look at some of these tweets that he was sending out. He put out that I was wanted in the US for crimes against humanity, for child trafficking, and this, because these accounts have built up like 5,000 followers, it was getting retweeted a lot of times. So this was a problem. People, there's so many gullible people out there. Are you awake? Really? Where's your discernment? So obviously they doubled down on this smear campaign against me, and one of their team contacted Charlie Ward, and that is where he's got this intel from, and it's awful. So what's happening is awful. What I want to put out is, I want to say to Gareth and Charlie that I've been speaking to a legal team. You guys are in some serious hot water here. Unlike you, Charlie, I'm not full of hot air. I do know where to send legal notices to you. And, Gareth, I've recently found out where you are. And, I could do this. What I'm asking of you is to delete all of this stuff, to cease and desist with these lies. People know now that they're lies. You could get into some serious trouble. So not only am I asking you to delete all this stuff, but I want you to put out a public apology so that, that might spur me to not take further action. Charlie, on your video platform. Now, Charlie, I want you to make a public apology to me and to explain that this is not true. Gareth, I want you to delete everything and also put out tweets on your remaining Twitter accounts, because these LARP ones, these JFK ones and all that have been taken down because they are clearly impersonating someone else for your own gain. So yeah, I'm waiting for this public apology, guys. And to anyone that sees anyone spreading this stuff, I want you to give them what for. I want you to send them this video. I want you to say, I want you to explain to them that they are liable for legal action against them. They could be sued. So that's it, guys. This is what's been happening. This is ridiculous. People need to have more discernment, and these attacks are obviously, they're sick. Charlie Ward, I just can't believe he is stupid enough to fall for them and put them out, and and put himself at risk with this. So yeah, it's serious. It needs to stop. But it's not like it. People, thankfully, most people have a head on their shoulders. There is obviously gullible people out there, and no one needs to have this spread around about them. Like I said, I've never called either of those two guys the P word, and I wouldn't, not unless they were actually tried and convicted for being one, and in which case then I would report on that. But yeah, guys, actually have some discernment and have some ethics and morals. So that's it for today. I'm M Seeker of Truth. Keep on spreading the truth. Thanks for listening.